Hello, my name is Harry, and welcome to Showcase 365. This is a podcast where we share interviews, learn about ideas, practices, and give actionable tips to help you and those who you support. Today, we have a very special guest, Natalia Eckerson, and she's an educator, a Charting the LifeCourse ambassador, and a national trainer with Nexus. In this episode, we'll talk about her story, the impact of the CTLC framework in Spanish-speaking communities, and what's coming with the Open Ambassador Training in Spanish this fall. Hope you enjoy. Again, Natalia, thank you for being here. It's a pleasure. But just to get started, so for our listeners and for our viewers, how do you first learn about the Charting LifeCourse?
Harrison, I first heard about Charting the LifeCourse. It was 2019, before the pandemic. And I was working as a service and support administrator for Latino individuals with the Developmental Disabilities Department in Cincinnati, Ohio. And then Celia Schlomer, who is an ambassador and a coach for Charting the LifeCourse, came to provide a training. And from that moment, I just fell in love with the curriculum, with the framework, and I started working with it. And I say, these are the tools and the frameworks that are going to speak clearly to the Spanish-speaking people.
That's really nice. But before we get to talk about in depth of, all the tools and all that, let's get to know you a little bit, right? So tell us about you. Where are you from? What's your career? How are you involved in Nexus?
I am from Colombia, but I have lived in the United States for the past 20 years. I have lived in several states. And I got involved with the Nexus because after I learned about Charting the LifeCourse, I really had a strong desire to bring this curriculum to Spanish-speaking communities. So I became a Charting the LifeCourse ambassador for the state of Ohio, and eventually I became a national life course coach with the Nexus, and continuing that path. We're trying to create a learning community, a community of practice that is Spanish speaking.
Right, and me as a Spanish speaker too, we appreciate that, right? So why do you think it's important for the Spanish speaking community to learn about the Charting the LifeCourse?
Well, I'm an educator, so my passion is helping people make decisions and align things with their values and their goals. And I think it's important to learn about Charting the LifeCourse for Spanish-speaking communities because it offers a very clear and visual guide to planning a good life. Sometimes we are a very oral community. We tell a lot of stories, but we don't put it in practice or we don't put it in paper. So all those goals or those dreams stay on the air. So many families also haven't had access to these types of tools because of their language barriers. And with Charting the LifeCourse, we have made it accessible, practical, and it's very culturally connected with our community. So I think that's why everybody can learn from Charting the LifeCourse, especially even if they speak Spanish. So
from your perspective directly, how has this Charting the LifeCourse framework impacted the community, the Hispanic community that you've worked with?
Well, I have seen people using the tools individually, families, and also Latino professionals that are just trying to make better communities. I have seen it with non-governmental organizations and also government organizations. It helps people organize and look for different things, take informed decisions, and actively participates in the systems of support that they need. I have seen that Charting the LifeCourse connects to our community because we are family-oriented. We work together as communities. We like to support each other. So this gives us a space for cultural foundation and transformation from our communities to the bigger systems. When people understand how to navigate those systems, then we get change. I have seen many people speak up and feel empowered because they understand how to navigate things, how to feel heard, And personally, it have helped me to make clear decisions as a mother, as a daughter, as a professional.
So in the future, looking in the future, what is the ultimate goal or your personal goal in getting these tools to the Hispanic community?
Well, my personal goal is to ensure that Spanish-speaking families that feel left behind by the language access, the barriers to getting services through the system, feel supported, because we are creating a national network of Spanish-speaking leaders who can transform their communities. The idea is that these systems change as they realize that we are not only a minority, but we are engaged with the places that we live in the spaces that we cohabit. So that's the idea, that the family and the Spanish-speaking community feels included.
But that's the ultimate goal, exactly. See, I agree with that. And that's really nice that you're working towards that, because we need more of that, right? Especially right now, we need more of that, of course. So let's talk about a little bit of the Ambassador series, right? The Open series. Okay. So what are you excited about? Tell me about it.
Well, I'm very excited because registration is now open. We're going to have the Open training series. It's going to be in Spanish. It's going to start at the end of August. So people can go in lifecoursenexus.com and look for more information, sign up. And one of the things that it really makes me happy about having this open training for Charting the LifeCourse is that we're opening to all states. It's going to be national. So we're trying to get as many community leaders as we can in getting engaged, getting to know the tools, and practice it to their communities, their families, with not only with the individuals that they work, but put it in practice for themselves and also for their families.
That's great to hear. We'll do a fun activity now. So usually for our podcast, we have a section it's a rapid fire section. So
okay.
What is one actionable tip you can give to a Spanish-speaking person first learning about the Charting the LifeCourse tools?
I'll say don't get nervous. They are very visual, so the language is not the most important thing. Start simple. Use one tool, start one conversation, and whatever it feels natural to you. It is very important to start with what you know and what you value. That would be my tip, my actionable tip.
That's a great tip. Okay, and what is your favorite CTLC saying?
Oh, there are so many, but I will say one that I always love is about dignity of risk. It says it was a mistake, not a life sentence. I really like that one because it gives us the right to make mistakes and to grow through those mistakes that we do and own our own decisions. I feel like those are the best learning moments when we can go back and say, okay, I did it this way. Maybe if I change it and I pivot, I can have better results. So I really like that one.
That was a great saying. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Harrison, for having me over. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to listen to Showcase 365. Please share this podcast with friends, family, and anyone you know who would love to learn more about creating a good life with Charting the LifeCourse framework and tools. Remember, you can always find tools and resources on our website, lifecoursenexus.com. We hope you join us next month. Bye.